Hi fitness friends, bringing you here a short video clip giving you some stretches and some exercises that you can try to help alleviate low back pain. Now whether you stand for a great amount of your day or whether you sit for a great amount of your day, our low back takes the brunt of most everything that we do. So I invite you to give some of these stretches, some of these movements a try. Listen to your body. We will start in child's pose. So on a carpet, on your yoga mat, go ahead and come into child's pose. So we can begin here with our knees open, giving us a little bit more space. You might feel this a little bit more in your hips, or you can start with your knees more together. You're going to feel maybe a little bit more pull or significance in your low back. Again, choose what's most comfortable for you. Come on down here to the mat. Feel free to keep your elbows, your arms more bent to give you a little bit more stability. Feel free to take your hands and arms and begin to stretch them out. Now as you begin to stretch the arms out, you're going to feel that stretch or that pulling sensation maybe through that shoulder and underarm area coming up from your low back. So again, find the place that's right for you as we move, as we breathe, as we stretch. You'll feel that tissue release. So I'm just going to keep us here for a couple of moments, couple of breaths. Inhale, exhale. Now I'm going to start us with a movement here that's going to take us from child's pose into a kneeling plank. And that is going to bring awareness into our shoulder blade and our upper back area. So it's going to start to ask those shoulder blades to move or slide on that rib cage. So on that inhale, let's go ahead, come on up, kneeling plank, a strong, stable position, and exhale as we draw back. Let's do a few rounds of work here. Inhale as we come up. Exhale as we sink back. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. On the next inhale, let's go ahead, come on up, and let's find our tabletop position. So let's bring those hands in. They will be stacked under our shoulders. Bringing those knees in, they will be stacked under our hips. This is called our tabletop position. You should be able to take your favorite drink, cup of coffee, hot cocoa, tea, whatever it is, place it on your back and it not spill. Let's add in spinal balance. Right arm, left leg. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you release down. Inhale and exhale. Now remember that favorite drink. It's on your back. We're not spilling it. So I want you to think about this is a strengthening exercise for the core and the back. I want you to think about keeping that strong core and that strong back, moving our limbs. We are moving our limbs through our hips and our shoulder joints, but our core and our back is staying strong. Here's our last set. Good. Now to bring in a movement here, our cat and cow. This is more of a releasing movement or releasing exercise for the tissue around our spine and around our core. Basically the back side and the front side of the body. Let's inhale here as we sink, lifting up through the crown, finding our what we call our cow, and then exhale as we find our cat. So here we are articulating that spine, our core or our trunk. I use those words kind of interchangeably, but we are flexing and extending or hyperextending that spine. So getting that soft tissue to move to articulate our trunk. Remember, our spine, there are S-curves. They're called S-curves. We do have natural curvatures in our spine. It's our soft tissue that gives us our movement. It's our muscles, it's our fascia that allows us to move. Okay, here's our last one. And release. Let's bring those legs, those feet, walk those knees in, bring those legs, those feet from around. Come on to the pockets here, finding the center of the mat. Go ahead and let yourself recline all the way down. So we're going to start here with a strengthening exercise. So walk those feet in. Again, one of my favorites. This is our hip bridge. Your feet, your knees, and your hips will be in alignment. Your upper body, head, neck, and spine calmly relaxed. Hands and arms at our sides. Strong base here. Through an inhale, lift those hips and go ahead and release down. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you release down. Now this exercise, this movement is really good for postural strength. So everything in that posterior chain, meaning the muscle structure in the back side of the body. So that would include main muscle groups here being our hamstrings, our glutes, and our low back. Notice again, calm through the shoulders, calm through the head and the neck. Trying to use, again, we're moving through the hip joints. We're asking the hip joints to move, but the muscle structure to turn on. Let's do one more. One more. Now the next pose here, one of my favorites is a twist. And this again is more for a releasing type of sensation. Let's take those legs, those feet, we'll walk them out. This is oftentimes called a windshield wiper, windshield wiping the legs, the feet. And we're going to walk those knees or let those knees stand, and we're going to gently let the knees release to one side. And then I'll bring my knees over. I want you to see the spacing here. Notice again, there's spacing between knee and knee, and there's going to be some space for most of us probably from that outside of the leg to the floor. And then I want you to go ahead here and just release side to side. Now again, we have a lot happening in the body here. We've got that low back sacrum tissue area right here, releasing. We've got our obliques helping or initiating the rotation. Our oblique muscles are our prime movers when it comes to rotation. And because we've widened our legs here, we've taken our knees and walked them out a little bit, you might feel this through the hip joints. There is a connection. We'll talk more about that, but there is a connection between the hip joints, how the hip joints move, and what we feel in our low back. They are very closely linked, guys. Okay, let's finish here with one more set each side. I started to the right, so I'll finish to the left. Okay, bring those knees up to the center. And then just like our child's pose from prone position, here's our knees to chest from supine position. So again, keeping that low back and sacrum connected, keeping that upper back, head, neck, and shoulders relaxed. Pull those knees into the chest. Wherever it's comfortable for you. And feel free if you want to, you can add in this little bit of movement here as well. Again, that little bit of rocking or rolling. You feel that in that tissue in the low back. So I invite you to explore these movements. I invite you to see what works well in your body. Find the ones that your body really resonates with. Take a few breaths, perform the movements or the exercises with a few breaths, whatever your time or whatever your schedule will allow for. Leave me any comments, ask any questions. Until next time, my friends, thank you. Have a great day.